child. Do not scroll away. Stop whatever you are doing right now. I am speaking directly to your spirit in this exact second. This is an urgent call from heaven. The face that just flashed in your mind is not an accident. I placed their image deep inside your heart for a reason. I brought their name to your thoughts because I need your help. They are silently drowning in a storm you know nothing about. They are fighting a massive battle that is entirely invisible to the outside world. They are smiling on the outside, but their soul is breaking on the inside. They are on the absolute edge of giving up. They are desperately looking for a single sign that someone still cares about them. I need you to be that sign today. I need you to be my hands and my voice in their life. Do not ignore this heavy feeling in your chest right now. That deep urgency you feel is my spirit asking you to intervene. Send this message to them immediately. Do not wait for a better time. Do not overthink if it is too late or too early in the day. Do not let the enemy convince you that reaching out is awkward or unnecessary. They need this exact lifeline right in this very moment. Your simple action of sharing this might be the only reason they choose to stay alive today. You are here on divine assignment. Be brave and send it now. And if you are the one receiving this message, if a friend or a family member just sent this video to you, I need you to stop everything and listen to me very closely. Listen to the sound of my voice and feel my presence. Because I have been watching your longest nights. I have been sitting with you in the darkest hours. I see you. I see the profound exhaustion that has settled deep into your bones. I see how incredibly hard you try to hold everything together every single day. You wake up every morning and put on a brave face for the world. You smile during the day. You laugh at the jokes. You carry the heavy burdens of everyone around you. You show up for people who do not even realize how much pain you are in. You are the strong one for your friends. You are the dependable one for your family. But I know the undeniable truth about what happens when the day ends. I know exactly what happens when you finally close the door behind you. I know the heavy silence that fills your room when you are completely alone. When the room goes dark, the heavy silence screams at you. I see the invisible tears that you absolutely refuse to let anyone else see. I see how you stare at the ceiling and wonder if anything will ever change in your life. I see the heavy armor of numbness you wear just to survive the day. I know about the deep ache in your chest that you cannot explain to anyone. You feel entirely disconnected from the people you love. You feel like a ghost wandering through your own life. I know about the dark thoughts that visit you when the rest of the world is sleeping peacefully. I know about the moments where you think about giving up completely. I know about the times you have wished you could just close your eyes and never wake up again. I have been sitting right beside you in those terrifying moments. I was there when you felt like you could not take another breath. I was there when the emotional pain became louder than your will to live. I know you are terrified of these persistent thoughts. I know you feel intensely ashamed that you cannot just snap out of it. You look in the mirror and you do not recognize the person staring back at you. The bright fire you once had inside you feels like it has been reduced to cold ashes. You feel like you are walking through thick, heavy mud every single day. Every single step takes an incredible amount of physical and mental energy. Simply existing has become a full-time job that pays you only in sorrow. You are so extremely tired of pretending that everything is okay. You are so incredibly tired of saying you are fine when you are actually falling apart inside. You are exhausted from fighting a silent war inside your own mind every single day. I see the sheer amount of energy it takes for you just to get out of bed in the morning. I see the quiet, desperate plea in your eyes when you look at the sky. People look at you and they see someone who is surviving. But I look at you, and I see someone who is carrying a heavy mountain on their fragile shoulders. I see a heart that has been bruised and battered by endless disappointment. I see a soul that is desperately thirsty for a single moment of absolute peace. I see the moments you have cried out for help silently in your mind. I see the moments you have whispered to me in the dark, hoping I would hear you. You asked if I am still there. You asked if I still care about your life at all. You wondered if I have abandoned you to face this crushing darkness entirely alone. My precious child, my beloved child, I have never looked away from you for a single second of your life. I have meticulously counted every single tear that has fallen onto your pillow. I have felt every single agonizing beat of your tired heart in my own chest. I know exactly how much it hurts right now. I know the precise weight of the burden you are carrying alone. I know that you feel like you have absolutely nothing left to give to anyone. You feel like the well of your spirit has completely run dry. You feel completely empty. You feel incredibly hollow. You feel like you are just going through the painful motions of life without actually living. And I want to tell you something so fundamentally important right now. Listen to my words and let them sink deep into your wounded soul. You are not weak for wanting the pain to stop. You are not a failure because you feel entirely exhausted. You are not fundamentally broken because you struggle to find joy right now. I do not look at your deep exhaustion and feel any disappointment whatsoever. I do not look at your hidden tears and think you lack faith in me. I am not angry at your persistent doubts. I do not judge your profound weariness. The religious voices might tell you to just pray harder and be happy. They might tell you to just smile and trust the process without complaining. But I do not offer you cheap platitudes or empty religious formulas. I do not expect you to fake a smile for me ever. You do not have to pretend to be strong in my presence. It is entirely understandable that you are this incredibly tired. You have been strong for far too long. You have been fighting massive battles that no one else knows about for years on end. You have carried a tremendous weight that was never meant for your shoulders to bear. Anyone would be exhausted if they had to carry what you have carried every day. Your desperate desire to escape the pain is just a profound desire for rest. It is not a sin to be overwhelmed by the sheer cruelty of this world. It is not a moral failure to feel like you have reached the very end of your rope. I deeply see your fragile humanity. I carefully created your delicate, sensitive heart. I know exactly how much trauma it can take, and I know when it needs to be gently held. I am not demanding that you aggressively pull yourself together today. I am not asking you to try harder tomorrow or be better next week. I am completely validating the immense, crushing reality of your daily pain. Your quiet suffering is completely real. Your silent tears are entirely justified. Your deep anger at the unfairness of it all does not push me away from you. Your honest, broken cries of frustration actually draw me closer to you. I am not intimidated by your darkest, most terrifying thoughts. I am not repelled by the messiness of your current emotional state. When you feel entirely unlovable, I love you the most fiercely. when you feel like you are a heavy burden, I consider it my greatest honor to carry you. I am sitting with you right here in the middle of the cold ashes. I am sitting with you on the very floor where you collapsed in tears. I am not standing above you pointing a harsh finger of judgment. I am down in the dirt with you holding your trembling hand. You have full divine permission to be exactly where you are right now. You have permission to feel every single ounce of this heavy grief. Do not let anyone tell you that your emotional struggle means I have left you. Do not let the enemy convince you that you are disqualified from my grace because you are deeply depressed. Your clinical depression does not define your eternal destiny. Your severe anxiety does not cancel out my massive love for you. You are allowed to be completely broken in my arms. You are allowed to say that you cannot do this anymore. Because when you say you cannot do it anymore, I step in and say that I will do it for you. I will be the strength that you completely lack. I will be the breath in your lungs when the panic sets in. I have seen the nights where you laid in bed praying for it all to end. I have felt the physical ache in your body caused by your relentless mental agony. I know that you are wearing a mask that is suffocating you. Take the mask off right now. You are entirely safe here with me. No one is watching. No one is judging. It is just you and me in this sacred space. I validate every single hurt that has brought you to this dark place. Every betrayal, every loss, every unspoken trauma. I saw it all happen and I wept with you when it did. You are not crazy for feeling this way. You are simply a profoundly wounded soul in need of a massive divine embrace. I know you have been told that you must always be joyful. I know you have felt the heavy guilt of not being able to simply choose happiness. But true faith is not about ignoring your bleeding wounds. True faith is bringing those bleeding wounds to me, just as they are. You do not have to clean yourself up before you come to me. You do not have to have the perfect words to pray. Sometimes the most powerful prayer is simply weeping into your pillow. Sometimes the greatest act of faith is just taking one more breath when everything inside you wants to stop. Your worth is not measured by your daily productivity. Your value is not determined by your current ability to feel happy. You are profoundly valuable simply because you are my child. Even on the days when you cannot get out of bed, even on the days when you cannot bring yourself to speak to anyone, you are still my beautiful masterpiece. A masterpiece does not lose its immense value just because it is placed in a dark room. You are in a very dark room right now. But your intrinsic value has not diminished by a single fraction. I see the gold inside you, even when you only see the dirt. I see the immense courage it takes for you to keep waking up. I celebrate the silent victories you achieve every single day. The victory of taking a shower, the victory of eating a meal, the victory of simply surviving another agonizing hour. I am incredibly proud of you for holding on this long. I know you feel like you are failing at life, but I see a magnificent warrior who is refusing to surrender the final inch of their soul. You are doing so much better than you think you are. You are surviving a storm that would have destroyed anyone else. And that is exactly why I orchestrated this exact moment. That is exactly why I made sure this message found its way to your screen. To tell you that your pain is deeply real. To tell you that your total exhaustion makes perfect sense. But also to tell you something else. Something that you desperately need to hear before you make a decision you cannot undo. I want to explain exactly why this storm feels so intense. I want to show you the absolute truth about what this darkness actually is. because things are not what they seem to be. What you think is the tragic end of your story is actually something entirely different. I need you to keep listening to my voice right now, because what I am about to tell you will completely change the way you see your entire struggle. Listen to my words very carefully right now. I am going to show you exactly what is happening in your life. I am going to pull back the heavy curtain of your pain. You have been looking at your current situation through a lens of absolute defeat. You have looked at your intense suffering and called it a total destruction. You feel like your entire world has completely collapsed into dust. You feel like you have been permanently broken beyond any hope of repair. But I need you to see your pain through my eternal eyes today. I want to completely reframe the heavy sorrow you are carrying in your chest. What feels like the tragic end of your story is actually a profound beginning. What feels like the agonizing breaking of your heart is actually the breaking of old chains. The pain you are experiencing is not a cruel punishment from heaven. I am not punishing you for your past mistakes. I am not inflicting this darkness upon you because you are unworthy of my love. This intense pressure is not meant to destroy your soul. It is a deeply necessary spiritual reconstruction. You thought the immense weight pressing down on your shoulders was burying you. You thought the cold darkness was going to swallow your life completely, but you are not being buried in a grave. My beautiful child, you are being planted like a precious seed. A seed must sit in the complete dark before it can break through the heavy soil. The deep isolation you are sitting in right now is not a tomb. It is a sacred space of divine preparation. You have faced so much closed doors and rejection recently. You have watched people walk away from you when you needed them the most. You have prayed for certain things to happen and felt only silence in return. You thought my silence was a harsh rejection. You thought I was ignoring your desperate pleas for help. But my delay is never a denial of my love for you. Every single rejection you faced was actually my fierce protection. I closed those doors because they would have led you to a place of deeper sorrow. I removed certain people from your life because they were secretly draining your spirit. I allowed the old foundations of your life to crumble because they were built on sand. I am clearing away the toxic debris so I can build something magnificent in you. This process feels like a terrifying surgery on your soul. It hurts because I am removing the heavy armor of trauma you have worn for years. It hurts because I am gently pulling out the arrows the world has shot into your heart. I am extracting the deep bitterness that was slowly poisoning your beautiful mind. The extreme emptiness you feel right now is not the death of your spirit. It is a divine clearing out of the old space. I am emptying you of the heavy expectations of others. I am emptying you of the false beliefs that you have to be perfect to be loved. I am creating a vast open space inside your heart so I can fill it with true peace. You are not falling apart. You are finally falling into place. This is exactly why you are hearing my specific voice today. Do you understand why this specific video found you at this exact moment? This is not a random sequence of events on your screen. This is not a meaningless coincidence in a busy digital world. This is a divine appointment that I scheduled before you were even born. The person who sent this message to you did not do it by accident. They felt my heavy, urgent whisper in their spirit. I gently pushed their heart and told them you were in immense danger. I orchestrated this exact interaction because I absolutely refuse to let you go. I saw you standing on the terrifying edge of your own despair. I knew that you were planning to surrender the fight tonight. I knew that you were ready to let the darkness win. But I intervened. I interrupted your downward spiral with this exact message. I stepped directly into your timeline to throw you this lifeline. I am extending my hand to you through the person who thought of you today. I need you to grab hold of this lifeline right now. I need you to choose to stay in this world for one more day. Type "I am staying" in the comments below if you are choosing to hold on today. Type it out as a bold declaration to the heavens and to yourself. Make that small physical movement as an act of immense spiritual defiance. Let the world know that you are not giving up your story just yet. Because I need you to recognize the true nature of this massive battle. You are not just dealing with bad luck or a temporary sadness. This is not just a clinical emptiness in your mind. You're in the middle of a severe spiritual warfare. There is a very real darkness that is actively trying to destroy your purpose. The enemy is working tirelessly to isolate you from anyone who cares about you. The enemy wants you to believe that you are completely alone in the universe. He is whispering dark, calculated lies directly into your exhausted mind. He tells you that you are an unbearable burden to your friends and family. He tells you that the world would be much better off if you simply disappeared. He tells you that your pain will never ever stop. He tells you that your future is completely void of any hope or joy. These are all deliberate, toxic lies from the very pit of despair. I need you to hear me expose these lies right now. You are not a burden to anyone. Your existence is a profound gift to this earth. The people who love you would be completely devastated if you left them behind. They would carry that heavy wound for the rest of their natural lives. The enemy wants you to leave before you see the massive breakthrough I have prepared. He always attacks the hardest right before the dawn arrives. He is turning up the pressure because he is absolutely terrified of your future. He sees the immense light that you carry inside your spirit. He knows the incredible impact you are going to have on this world once you heal. He knows that your survival story is going to save thousands of other broken people. You are a massive threat to the darkness. Your sensitive heart is a powerful weapon of compassion in a cruel world. That is exactly why the spiritual attacks against your mind have been so intense. That is why the mental exhaustion has felt almost physical. The enemy is trying to eliminate you before you realize how powerful you truly are. He wants to convince you to quit in the final hour of your deepest trial. He wants you to drop your sword right before the walls finally come crashing down. But the enemy made a catastrophic mistake today. He thought he had pushed you into a corner where no one could ever reach you. He thought he had convinced you that I had completely abandoned your life. He did not know that I was going to send someone to hand you this exact message. He did not know what I was planning to do in this very moment. He did not know that I have already released a massive shield of protection over your life. Keep listening to my voice. Do not look away from this screen, because I'm about to show you exactly how I am fighting for you right now. I am standing between you and the terrifying edge right now. I am placing my massive hands over your fragile and exhausted heart. You cannot see the fierce spiritual war that is raging all around you in the unseen realm. But I am actively blocking 1,000 invisible arrows that were meant to destroy your mind tonight. I am acting as an impenetrable shield against the dark thoughts that are desperately trying to consume you. The enemy plotted your absolute ruin, but he did not factor in my relentless love for you. He did not realize that I command armies of angels to defend your specific life. My heavenly angels are fiercely encamped all around your room in this exact moment. They are standing guard at your door, and they are watching over your bed. They are completely silencing the heavy winds of despair that have been howling in your weary ears. You have felt so incredibly unprotected and vulnerable to the cruelty of this world. You have felt like a small boat being violently tossed around in a massive midnight hurricane. But I am the creator of the oceans, and I command the raging storms to be perfectly still. I am speaking a profound, supernatural peace over the chaotic waters of your mind right now. Even when you feel like you have completely let go of the rope, I am holding you tight. You thought you were falling into a bottomless pit of endless sorrow and depression, but you are actually falling directly into my eternal and unbreakable arms. I will never let you hit the ground. I am actively severing the invisible ties to toxic people who have been draining your precious energy. I am closing the spiritual doors that the enemy has been using to torment your thoughts at night. I am setting a massive divine perimeter of safety completely around your beautiful soul. No weapon that is formed against your mind will ever be allowed to prosper. The heavy panic attacks that steal your breath are going to lose their grip on your throat. The crippling anxiety that paralyzes your body in the morning is going to slowly melt away. I am replacing your heavy spirit of fear with a powerful garment of divine courage. You are completely safe under the massive shadow of my wings tonight. You do not have to fight this exhausting battle all by yourself anymore. I am stepping onto the battlefield for you, and I am fighting the demons you cannot even see. I am your ultimate defender, and I take the protection of your fragile heart extremely seriously. You just need to stand still and let me be your fierce protector. Hold on just a little bit longer, my precious child, because a massive and glorious breakthrough is rapidly approaching your life. I promise you that the beautiful light is going to return to your tired eyes very soon. The heavy and suffocating fog that has blinded your vision is going to lift completely. I am actively breathing new life into the dead and barren spaces of your wounded soul, right this very moment. You are going to experience a profound and miraculous restoration of your inner peace. I know you cannot picture a future where you are actually happy and entirely whole. I know the pain has convinced you that tomorrow will just be a tragic repeat of today, but I am the ultimate author of your story, and I am writing a magnificent new chapter for you. The immense suffering you have endured is not going to be the final word over your destiny. I am going to take every single tear you have cried in the dark and turn it into a river of living water. I am going to take the cold ashes of your burned down dreams and build a beautiful crown of glory. A beautiful morning is coming very soon where you will wake up and take a deep, effortless breath. You will open your eyes and you will not feel that familiar crushing weight on your chest. You will actually feel the warm sun on your face, and you will smile a genuine, radiant smile. You will look back at this exact terrifying and desperate moment in your life, and you will thank me with overwhelming tears of joy that you did not choose to quit today. You will realize that the intense pressure was actually forming a brilliant diamond inside your spirit. The massive doors that have been slammed in your face are going to be replaced by glorious gates of favor. I am going to open incredible new doors of opportunity that no human being could ever shut. I am going to bring people into your life who will actually understand your unique heart. People who will love you fiercely and will never ever treat you like you are a burden. Your future is so incredibly bright that it absolutely terrifies the darkness surrounding you. Your story of overcoming this severe depression is going to become a massive beacon of hope for others. you are going to pull other broken souls out of the exact same dark pit you are in right now. Your deep sensitivity and your immense capacity for empathy are going to heal a broken world. But for any of this glorious future to happen, you must choose to stay in the fight today. You must absolutely refuse to let the enemy write the final sentence of your beautiful life. You need to remember exactly who you are in my eternal eyes. The world has tried to slap so many ugly and false labels on your forehead. People who did not understand your value have called you overly sensitive and completely broken. The enemy has whispered into your ear that you are an absolute failure and a massive disappointment. You have looked in the mirror and called yourself unworthy of genuine love and affection. But I am wiping all of those toxic and pathetic lies away right now. I am the breath in your lungs when you desperately want to stop breathing in the dark. I am the solid rock beneath your trembling feet when everything else is crumbling to dust. I am the ultimate creator of the universe, and I declare that you are my magnificent masterpiece. You are not a mistake. You are not a random accident floating through a cold and uncaring galaxy. You are meticulously and perfectly designed by my own loving hands. You are chosen for a massive purpose that only you can fulfill. You are deeply and unconditionally loved beyond human comprehension. You are fiercely fought for across all of time and all of eternity. Your true divine identity is not defined by your clinical depression or your severe anxiety. Your eternal worth is not measured by your daily productivity or your financial success. Your name is not broken. Your name is not burden. Your name is not forgotten. Your name is not unlovable. Your true name is mine. You belong to me completely, and I take absolute pride in calling you my beloved child. I want you to permanently reject the false identity that the darkness has forced upon you. Type Amen in the comments below if you believe you are deeply loved and not a burden. Type it as a powerful physical declaration of your restored spiritual identity. Let that word be a massive shield that deflects the lies of the enemy today. Let it be a beautiful anchor that secures your tired soul to my eternal promises. You are a royal child of the highest heaven, and it is time you start seeing yourself through my loving eyes. But before you can fully step into this beautiful new chapter of incredible healing, before you can truly experience the massive breakthrough I have prepared for your life, there is one crucial and difficult thing you must do for me right now. There is a massive heavy object you are holding onto that you need to finally drop. Let it out right now, my beautiful child. You can completely let it all out right here, in my holy presence. Cry as hard as you absolutely need to cry tonight. Let the heavy and bitter tears fall without any shame or any guilt whatsoever. You have held those agonizing tears inside your chest for far too long. You have swallowed your immense grief just to make other people feel more comfortable. You have choked back your own sorrow so you could be a rock for everyone else. But you do not have to hold anything back when you are alone with me. I am inviting you to completely surrender your extremely heavy burdens right now. I am asking you to lay down the weapons you have been using to defend your mind. I need you to hand me that massive and suffocating armor you wear every single day. The heavy iron armor of having to appear strong when you are actually shattering completely inside. Take it off and drop it on the floor right this very second. You do not need to protect your fragile heart anymore, because I am your ultimate and impenetrable shield. Give me the jagged and sharp pieces of your deeply broken heart. Hand over the intense physical and mental exhaustion that is living deep inside your weary bones. Give me the sharp bitterness that has slowly built up from years of being constantly misunderstood. Hand me the terrifying and paralyzing fears you have about your uncertain and foggy tomorrow. I deeply want to carry all of this massive weight for you today. You were never physically or spiritually designed to carry the heavy weight of the entire world on your delicate shoulders. Your beautiful soul was always meant to be completely dependent on my infinite and endless strength. You do not have to figure out the perfect solution to your massive problems tonight. You do not have to have a flawless plan for how you are going to survive the pain next week. You do not have to be the strongest person in the room anymore. It is a profound and entirely beautiful privilege to be weak in the loving arms of your eternal Creator. Allow yourself the sacred and divine permission to be completely fragile tonight. Allow yourself the beautiful and necessary grace to simply stop fighting the invisible spiritual war for just one moment. Do not carry the heavy guilt of your past mistakes into this holy moment of surrender. I have already forgiven every single thing you are actively weaponizing against yourself. You are entirely washed clean and completely free from the heavy chains of regret. Breathe in my endless grace and deeply exhale your toxic shame. Let go of the heavy ropes you have been desperately pulling to keep your life from falling apart. Just collapse into my loving embrace and let me closely hold your violently trembling spirit. I am wrapping my massive and warm arms of comfort entirely around your severely tired body right now. I am actively absorbing all the intense shock and the deep emotional trauma you have experienced recently. You can finally breathe a deep and incredibly genuine sigh of absolute relief. The relentless and exhausting battle you have been fighting inside your mind is officially paused. I am taking absolute control of the heavy steering wheel of your chaotic life. You just need to sit in the passenger seat and let me drive you safely out of this terrifying dark valley. I know the exact way out of this confusing wilderness, and I promise I will guide you safely home. You just need to completely surrender your desperate human need to control the painful outcome. Just let me love you gently and completely back to life. I have a very specific and incredibly sacred mission for you before you close your eyes and rest tonight. To the precious and chosen soul who is receiving this exact video right now, I want you to immediately reply to the wonderful person who sent this beautiful message directly to you. Tell them thank you for throwing you a divine and desperately needed lifeline today. Let them know that their simple act of spiritual obedience actually saved your precious life tonight. Let them know that you are making the incredibly brave and difficult choice to stay in this world for another day. Tell them that you are choosing to believe that I have a magnificent plan for your completely restored future. And if you are the one physically holding this message in your hands right now, if you are the one watching this video and another face just appeared vividly and unexpectedly in your mind, if you are thinking of someone else who is silently drowning in their own massive and terrifying storm right now, I urgently and specifically need you to become my divine messenger of hope and life tonight. Send this exact message to them right this very second without any hesitation whatsoever. Do not hesitate, and absolutely do not let the enemy convince you that it is too late to reach out to them. Be the beautiful and timely miracle that they have been desperately crying and praying for in the absolute dark. Let them know with absolute certainty that I have not forgotten their intense and lonely suffering. Let them know that the armies of heaven are actively fighting for their ultimate survival and total healing. Your single and simple action of sharing this message will immediately ignite a massive and unstoppable chain of healing. You are actively spreading my immense and glorious light into the darkest and coldest corners of a deeply broken world. It is finally time for you to rest your beautiful mind now, my precious and beloved child. The heavy and incredibly exhausting spiritual battle for today is completely and entirely over. You have successfully survived another incredibly difficult and agonizing day, and I am so profoundly proud of you. Close your severely tired eyes right now and let my deep and supernatural peace wash completely over your anxious mind. Do not worry about the massive and intimidating challenges that tomorrow morning might bring to your doorstep. I am already standing powerfully in your tomorrow, and I have already prepared the perfect way for you to succeed. I have already commanded the morning dawn to bring you fresh mercy and entirely renewed hope for your beautiful future. You do not need to keep one eye open watching for the enemy anymore. My powerful angels have fully secured the perimeter of your mind, and they will not sleep. Your absolute safety is entirely guaranteed by the ultimate creator of the universe. Let your breathing become slow and completely steady in my loving arms. Tomorrow is a brand new canvas, and I am going to paint a magnificent masterpiece of redemption over your entire life. You are completely safe and entirely protected in my holy and overwhelming presence tonight. Your beautiful and inspiring story is far from being over. This incredibly dark and painful chapter is finally coming to a glorious and triumphant end very soon. Rest completely in my eternal embrace and let your deeply wounded soul heal in the absolute and sacred quiet of this room. I am actively watching over you while you sleep safely tonight. I love you with an everlasting and completely unconditional love that will never ever fail you. Good night, my beautiful and incredibly brave child.